Week 5, the rich potential for error. Several areas of the interpreting process lend themselves to error. Consecutive and or simultaneous interpreting, false cognates, slang, and culturally or country-specific words, among others. This week, we will explore some of these areas and see what we can do to keep errors to a minimum. This week's project is to obtain a medical document. Discover medical terminology, determine their meaning, and note the potential for error. List the equivalent in your language of choice. Add these words to the lexicon you're creating. Write something related to this week's topic in your journal and include it in the discussion forum for class participation. Search the Bible for something related to the potential for error and write a brief description. Find a related YouTube. After watching it, write a review and an evaluation. It's almost impossible to perform at a high level keeping your interpreting product error-free. There are just too many moving parts. But there are things that the interpreter can do to keep errors to a minimum. And maybe, more importantly, keep them from affecting the understanding going on between the parties. Consecutive interpretation, as applied to the common healthcare situation, is possibly the least error-prone. But even this process has its problems if the parties speak too fast, speak too long between pauses, or mumble their words. There are a number of advanced consecutive interpretation skill-building tools which you as an interpreter will want to develop. Among them are listening, prediction, analyzing, note-taking, recall, positioning, situation control. But most of all, you need intensive practice in consecutive interpretation in the following healthcare situations: admitting interviews, well baby visits, informational sessions, and standard doctor visits. Simultaneous interpretation as applied to the healthcare interpretation may be the most error-prone aspect of the profession, since you have to listen and speak at the same time. Advanced simultaneous interpretation skill building include listening, predicting, shadowing and decalage, note-taking, positioning, situation control, equipment uses. The more practice in simultaneous interpreting situations, such as informal meetings, emergency room interviews, operating room procedures, mental health consultations, or interventions, the easier it will become. The healthcare areas where this is used most often are infectious disease prevention and control, cardiovascular events, labor and childbirth, and mental health. Besides the very essence of the process of conveying information from one language into another, there are several language elements which lend themselves to error. Among them are false cognates, slang, or culturally or country-specific words. False cognates are words that look similar in both languages but have very different meanings. Maybe one of the most humorous is found between the English word embarrassed and the Spanish word embarazada. The words look similar, but in English it means ashamed or uncomfortable, while in Spanish it means pregnant. Be careful about false cognates. Slang and culturally or country-specific words also create huge problems in this arena. Usually it is imperative to find a dynamic equivalent, but sometimes this is impossible. The problem only gets worse if the interpreter doesn't understand the word. This is the point at which it is important for the interpreter to ask the healthcare provider to stop in order to clarify what is being said. After all, you want to make sure you get it right, and if you don't understand it, you can't do that. Don't worry about making mistakes. We've all done it. The important thing is to learn from them and to do better next time.